Guys, look at my hair. Not no makeup on. No, it's my hair is like way long. When it's down my back straighting, but it's all kinky because it's like in the afro, so it looks shorter. So, I originally are from Pennsylvania, and I was living in Pennsylvania all my life since a child. Um, I always had I had a bad traumatic childhood. I got on my own. I was living on my own for several years. All my life, had my own place, keeping it occupied, paying my bills, and doing what I had supposed to be doing. I was living on my own, and I was living in Erie, Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden, stuff like didn't work out with the neighbors, and I got terminated. The landlord, I was having problems due to the situation living there, and so I had to move. And so the reason why I came to Tennessee is because of my aunt, and she was talking me about here, and so I was like, cool, I'll move down here so I can be around my aunt, because I was thinking we was going to get along, and we worked that situation out. I'm just telling you the story. So I was staying with her. My friend drove me down here. She's from Erie. She drove me down here all the way from Erie, Pennsylvania. I paid her money, and we pitched in on the hotel. I bought the hotel and stuff like that, and she did the gas something. We like worked it out. We rode through Kentucky. We visited there some places. I visited Gatlinburg, the Smoky Mountains before, and we spent time at the hotel, me and my friend, before she left to go back to Erie, because we were going to see each other face to face, because we're like long distance. And so, yeah, and then she drove me to my aunt's, and then she introduced herself, and then I was staying at my aunt's, like, been at my aunt's for like a while. It was like good and stuff I didn't understand, like why I had to like go outside when they did and stuff, like rude and stuff. And I like was feeling some type of way, and she was explaining to me, like, and sometimes I did post stuff to Facebook about the situation, and they saw it and got upset, and certain stuff could have been avoided um of my actions. um I don't think it was the rude or nothing. I just think I was like upset about complaining about stuff. I don't know the situation, but I was staying with my aunt, but it didn't work out. So that's what led me to on the streets is she wanted me to stay. The first time I was like trying to move to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, um, I went out there and it didn't work out. I was staying outside there because I couldn't find no shelter or no resources to get help or apartments. I couldn't find nothing out there. And even the lady said it's hard to find housing due to the situation. There was landlords dropping from the housing thing out there because of situations that happened. She was explaining to us in the meeting, and I was like, told her like, well, I can't find anything out here. And she was like, send my stuff back to Erie, Pennsylvania, and then I transferred. I was switching different areas, because it's hard to find housing. People that are sub the housing. Um, and My aunt really wanted me to go to the mission. She texted me that. I was like, why don't you just stay over there? And I was like, kind of like, I didn't want to stay over there. I just wanted to stay with my aunts in the room. I don't know. And just go back over there. And she said, well, it was like easier to stay over in that area. And I tried to call, and there was nothing there. And so I went back to my aunt's, and she was calling the shelter already in Cookville. And they didn't have no room then. And then I was like, I'm going for a walk. Like, I was like, a whole lot of stuff in my mind. Like, and I was like, I didn't even want to go back there because she didn't even want me there because she was sending me to the mission anyway. I thought, like, so I just like, I'm not going to even go back there. And that's what led me to stay out. And didn't want to go back to that situation of that. And so something I posted on Facebook, and it was like, I want to get a hotel. They helped me get a hotel, whatever. And that situation led to something because it was like, we could have went back to y'all to whatever. She said I could have went back. Oh yeah. Maybe I said it some type of way where, like I couldn't go back, but I didn't want to go back. And I'm sure they didn't spend the money for nothing because God would bless them anyway for that situation. That's how I look at it. And it was used for my need for me, saving me for not staying outside because I didn't. And then I went back there and the situation happened and all that crazy stuff happened. And I was staying at the mission, but it didn't work out there because of the what do you call that? The COVID situation. And I was like, I don't even want to stay here because I didn't want to get sick because the people were coughing everywhere. And the lady was like, I didn't like the lady, like how she talked to the people or talked to me. I didn't like that whole situation, like being there, being around that situation, and how that girl was talking to me. When I made the review on the Facebook, which maybe it should have never made a review when I was there, because I was saying like, well, they shouldn't force people to go to church, do like religious stuff if they don't want to, because not everybody's gonna agree. Like, you can't force God down people's throat, and that's what I feel like they're doing. I don't know. But she got mad and she came at me and whatever. And then they was trying to like lock us up and keep us inside from doing anything, and I couldn't get nothing done due to my important stuff I needed to get done. So I left from the rescue Michigan. And that's what like probably led me to the streets, homeless and stuff like that for a while. Then I found a shelter. I cooked in the other view of Tennessee, and I'm staying there. And then I was talking to that guy. I stayed at his house in the room, hanging with him, doing stuff because he was cooking and stuff like that. And they got mad because I didn't call him, and I got kicked out of from there. I was homeless. I was on the streets. For a while, I going for that situation by my stuff, my aunt's house, cops, and my situation. I didn't want to be involved with no cops. I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I don't do anything to break the law. I'm just trying to get on my feet again. So I don't need the cops in my life trying to follow me and do all this weird stuff because they think something judgment. Oh, I don't know what they're thinking about, but that situation happened, which I felt was unnecessary to get the cops involved in that whole fifth situation about my stuff. I don't know. It's just me. But then I found a shelter. When that other place I was staying there, I was like, good, is find a place to stay there. Prayed about that situation, and I found a shelter. I was staying there for a while. It was good, like being there. And then there was some drama with people, like the girls and stuff. And then I had to leave from there because I couldn't like stay there because she said like my time was up. I did my time there, and so that's what led me back on the streets now. Back on the streets because I couldn't extend my time there at the shelter. And I felt like she should have kept me there until my appointment because my appointment's over that way. But she didn't want to do that. So it's making me hard on me. through the situation, being back on the streets. Um, and then the whole thing, after I met that guy, I met that guy through another guy that lives over that way. His name's Jesse. And I used to sit in the park. Yeah, sit in the park when during the day, listening to music, and he used to come over and ask me, like, my situation, why am I sitting over here? And he was telling him, like, well, I'm in a situation, I'm homeless, I'm working on stuff. And he said, like, sometimes, like, I can go over there and sleep in his house, and I slept over there in the room. And he slept in the other room. It was, like, separate. And then he said, like, well, you had to go, like, he can't have me there for hours sudden. I don't know why. But he did introduce me to the other guy, the one that I was telling you about that's perverted. I thought he was cool because he was introducing me. He was like, hey, at first, he was like, we're going to take care of you. We're going to help you out. We're going to be there for you. We're going to look out for you. And then he threw me $20 to get something to eat, just like that, in front of his friend. And I was like, I didn't want it at first, and then he just threw it anyway. So I just took it. And then ever since I was talking to him, that guy, he was driving me around, telling me about his wife when she was living and stuff. He drove me around to get stuff. He took me shopping, clothes. I told him I didn't want that at first, and he was like, well, come on, let's go get you some clothes. I'm like, okay then. He keep asking me to get clothes, and I told him, like, well, we can go to Walmart. And he took me to Walmart, this and that, and that's how. And then so then he was asking me for sex, and I left out. That situation. And then blah blah blah, cops again following me over to his house and stuff like this and all. I'm like, dude, I don't even know why they're following me. Or the cop I was told the cop, the girl cop, maybe that's why he was following me. And I was like, oh, why would the cop think something like that about me being a prostitute? Like, what? I'm like, he said, well, she's not a prostitute. She's just sitting in the park, just struggling and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. And then he handed me the cop's card. And I'm like, okay, I have his number, his cell number. And I called him up, and he never hit me back. And I'm like, why did you tell me to contact you and you're not hitting me back? You took all that time to contact me. Come on now. If you're so concerned, you should have been hit me up. Worried about me, stop yourself and come at me and tell me what is the problem with you. What do you think about me? Ask me questions or something. Like, what's on your mind? You would have been hitting me up all the time. I had to go through other cops to get through to you. Yeah. He's talking about he's busy, he got stuff to do and stuff like that. And he finally hit me up. I'm like, okay. And I was telling him my situation. Hopefully he got understood in his head about it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm still struggling, like all this time. I can't find a place. I'm like sad. And there's people that help me online. Thank you to them. The ones that really help. I'm still praying for me and stuff. Let's see what I look like without makeup. I look plain. Kind of rough because I've been outside. But I don't I did nothing to lie about me being on the street struggling, because I really am struggling on the street, being people's help. And it's crazy, like, how you live in America and how people don't want to even help people that's even from here first. The American people first that need things. Not to say it's bad helping people from other countries, but I feel like they should be helping the people over here first from America that really need the help, because there's a lot of people, Americans, that need help and they're not trying to help, but they're quick to help somebody in the other country first beforehand. That's why I don't understand that. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's cool to help people from other countries and stuff like that. But I'm chilling in the hotel. It's so great to like lay in a bed and relax and watch TV and have heat, not be in the cold, freezing to death. Tomorrow I'll be here for like a whole day, and then the 14th I have to leave at 11 o'clock from here, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to be outside again, back outside again, if I don't get no help. Like, I don't have no more funds to buy a hotel, so sucks. And this is my crazy journey living in Tennessee, going through situations, meeting people that's not good for me. This is the journey I'm going through right now. Struggling to find housing, struggling to get back on my feet again, struggling to have a place over my head and not stay on the streets, sleeping on the streets, being outside in a dangerous situation, being I'm a female. So I remain trying to keep finding housing and go to the appointment to see what comes up to that situation. Still keep fighting the fight to find somewhere to live. And that's what I've been doing, like trying to get stuff together, my medical, switch and everything. So like process. Anyway, I'm gonna like leave it from there. about that cop. I don't know what his true motives was, but maybe in my mind he's trying to help me. But sometimes cops, like, they can have motives to them, like, on a low down key. You know, like what cops, bad cops be doing. Sometimes they're like doing stuff on the low. One, two, or maybe something. I don't know. Me, first of all, I don't mess around with married men. Second of all, you need to be real. Third of all, I don't mind like being with somebody. I need to find a man too, like a Christian man, like a godly man. Yeah, cops are attractive. That's a real turn on, like cops. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not weird, right? I won't mind marrying a cop, like being with a cop, like having a relationship with a cop if he's a Christian man, into God, into his job, a cop. Yes, indeed, because they're humans like us, and I need a single man in my life. Single man only. Single man. Like that. I'm on a dating site now. I'm trying to like find out like some people to talk to, like guys only. And I'm a female. Like, what do you expect? Like, I want to talk to men. I pray that I find a man, the right man to talk to. Have a good conversation with. Single. And I want to find a godly man. Yeah. Only that guy, that old man, telling the cops that I'm his sister and stuff like that. When you know opposite, you're lying to the cop's face. Just a little lie to the cop, like that. He lied to the cop, saying this and that, lying, liar. It's crazy, man. That's why I took my bike from there, because I don't need to be in contact with people like that. And don't get me wrong, there are true men out there, guys, that will help you without even wanting any sex. Because I had the guy help me. He let me sleep at his house, and he didn't ask me for sex. He was just helping me out, just to help. He didn't have no motives or nothing. And so there are true men out there that are help due to helping you out of their heart. They're not have any motives. I'm already going through a traumatic thing, a traumatic situation, being on the streets. That's traumatic. Like, not having nowhere to go. I have to worry about, watch my surroundings, and watch. Sleeping in the cold, not having enough money to buy something to eat, not having no money to keep buying hotels. Like, I gotta do something. I don't know. if the places wasn't that difficult here, talking about you have to be on a waiting list to find an apartment, I wouldn't be going for this. Because they're just getting the money for the apartment and just move in. Like, why did they make it so difficult living in Tennessee?